What's up, baby babies? What's up, baby babies? Y'all, I'm over here struggling with this video. Get this going. I gotta do one more video before I leave today. One more video before I get out of here today. Baby, did y'all see that Chris Rock special on Netflix? What's it called? Selective Outrage. Oh, honey, when I tell you Chris Rock brought the pain, Bring the Pain was back in his first special that I fell in love with. No, he brought the pain today. Okay. Now I personally enjoyed the special. There was some real laugh out loud, tears running down my cheek moments. But I can't say it wasn't his best performance, but it wasn't his worst. I like this more than Tambourine, but not as much as Bring the Pain and Bigger and Blacker. Those are my favorites. Those are the top tier for me. But that's not to say he wasn't brilliant, that he did make some great points and crack some serious, hilarious jokes. He did. He was a little rough though at the end though. Come on now, it's gonna get a little rough at the end. So of course, everybody was waiting to hear what he would have to say about the infamous slap heard around the world. Slap, slap, slap. And he did not disappoint. He slapped back. That was a slap back. Okay. But I'm hearing some people have some issues. Let me turn this heat off. Some people having some issues with it, but I get it in some things, and in some ways, people just always outraged over something or other. But he's a comedian, and this happened a little over a year ago. We're going to give him some grace to get off his chest what he's been needing to get off his chest. All right. He's been quiet all this time. Frankly, if it was me, I'd have laid everybody out. After it happened, I'd have read everybody feel filth. But yeah, it was a good show. And I'm hoping that a lot of people don't miss how good it was. Some of the great points he made. Because of the bombshell ending. It was a bombshell. But yeah, let me just touch on a little bit of it. Y'all gonna have to. I didn't really do my hair today. This is my last day before I go on my little mini vacation. So I really just did a little quick ponytail today. And the humidity has it curling up. So forgive. Anyway. So some of the highlights that I took from the special, there were quite a few actually really good segments, because they weave all together into one show, but it's all broken down into segments. The one that sticks out for me, I remember this segment about his kids. He talked about how kids are evil and that they're judgmental, say whatever comes to their mind. He talks about how he was raised versus how he raised his kids, that they were spoiled. He gives a great story about how his daughter was acting up overseas on a school trip, and she ended up getting kicked out of school, and that his wife, and they were ready to fight, to try to hire a lawyer and get her back in that school. But when he realized what path she was on, he went ahead and advocated to have her go ahead and get kicked out. And he talks about how it helped with her character development, and that she's in a great place in life. She's in Paris learning to be a chef and all this good stuff. So it was a really good story. And again, him talking about the kids, it was some funny moments. He talks about her being a biter and biting on everybody, on other kids. But again, it's not as funny as I just tried to make it, but it was really good. Again, talking about selective outrage, he touched on it a couple times during the show. One of the points he made was that how people are okay with Michael Jackson playing Michael Jackson's music, but not R. Kelly's music. They did pretty much the same thing in different eras to different people, but one person was arrested, one was not. One passed away before anything could happen, or was never prosecuted, rather. So, um, he made a couple jokes about that. Um, and he goes into a segment about social media and how people nowadays are so influenced by what others think and being liked versus being loved. She said in the past we used to want to be loved. Now we just want likes. And that, people are posting, and this is something I don't get. I mean, I like social media. I'm not really big on Facebook, and I get on Twitter every so often and go on my little rant when something's happening. But I'm not on there all the time. I don't do TikTok unless I'm looking for a recipe. And I don't really get on Instagram either. But he talks about how people will post, this is what I ate today. And this is what I did today. All the little dumb things you see people post on. And it's crazy because I will post that with my family. I have little inner family group chats and things of that nature. Now, we text amongst each other what we're cooking, what we're doing. But I don't share it with the world at large. Just with the people I know who care. No one else cares what you're eating. Okay. And he segues from how people want to get attention, and he talks about the 4 ways that you get attention. He says that you can show your ass, you could be infamous, you can be excellent, or you could be a victim. Talks about how there are a lot of people in this world nowadays that everyone plays a victim. And then he segues into how to the January 6th insurrection, and how these white men were playing the victim, trying to overthrow the government. And it was kind of funny. And I have to go back and look at how he said it, because when he started the sentence, it made so much. I finished it in my head because it was like, why are white men afraid about another white man trying to overthrow a government? He didn't say it in that way. Let me think about it. He says these men are trying to overthrow a government that they run. Basically, white men trying to overthrow other white men who all run it. No one else runs it but y'all. It's y'all. And the irony was it was hilarious. He said this was some Planet of the Apes type stuff. He said, yeah, people climbing on the walls and hooping on Nancy Pelosi's desk. Yeah, that whole segment was funny. I remember cracking up at the Planet of the Apes joke. He jumped into Meghan Markle. He talked about Meghan Markle, about how, she went on Oprah and was crying about, they're racist. Oh, the royal family is racist. And he's like, how did you not know? They're the OGs of the race. They were the original colonialists. So how did you not think that they were racist? And he made one joke that I remember cracking up at, because it's something we all do. That she said that someone made a statement about wondering how dark their child would be. And he says, white people don't just do that. That's not racist. Black people do it too. Because we have our babies and we check the little tips of the ears and the knuckles and all in here. We look for them dark lines. We want to see just how dark they're going to be. He says they might be a Steph Curry baby, or what's the other boy? The Green baby. Draymond Green. So he went on with that. Again, like I said, the show is funny. He has some really good moments in the show. He went off on the Kardashians. Hilarious. Because he was talking about in-laws, and he was basically saying that they will basically take any type of black people. Mama Jenna, I can't think of her name right now. And she basically, she'll take all them in-laws, and she don't care if they're crackheads. She don't care if they're crazy. She gonna take you in. Um, but yeah, it was a really good show, and it was crazy because it was late at night. I was trying to go to sleep so I can get up and come to work, but I've been dealing with insomnia with this little Manjaro medication, so I was up and watching that, and get my kicks and giggles on in the back of the room, trying to be quiet so I don't wake anybody else up. But he talked about relationships and that he's single right now. He talks about dating single women versus not single women, but younger women versus older women, the pros and cons of each. Pretty funny. He jumped into another segment, which was a little cringy. I know some people are not gonna like it. I mean, there's people who will complain about the Meghan Markle stuff, but I mean, I don't care about the Meghan Markle stuff. That's just jokes. But he started talking about abortions, and then he talked about how many he paid for, and that, you know, every time he would come in to get one, it's like he would have a cart where they would clip. I was like, dude, come on, that's not. How many women are you screwing unprotected? Really? Dude, come on now. I mean, like I said, most of that little segment of part abortion, and he jumped into the abortion because, you know, he ended up segueing. This is when he segued into his daughters, talking about his daughters. And he has 2 daughters, and although he's pro-life, because he has daughters, he's also pro-choice, and he's, you know, all for them being in control of their bodies. And so that's what he ended up talking about, the abortion thing. But he did make one joke in that little abortion segment that made me laugh. He said that, ladies, if you have to pay for your own abortion, you should have the abortion and stop having unprotected sex with grown men. This was on the heels of him saying he's paid for abortion. But it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're dating a man or if you're sleeping with a man and he can't pay for the abortion, rethink your life. Rethink your life. Move in another direction. I'm just saying. But yeah, so he touches on a couple other things. And then you get to the big kahuna. We finally get to the topic of the night. And he states in several points throughout the show that, because I think he talked about something with Snoop, he talked about something with Busta, I think. And then he said something about Jay-Z. And then after he says what he says, look, I'm not trying to make another rapper mad at me. And so after that, he segues into the Will Smith situation. His tone for most of the show was aggressive, but he totally went. He moved into it, the anger was palpable, right? You just in the way he said. The boy was angry. You hear me? He was angry. There was no doubting how he felt in that moment. He was angry. He starts talking about Will Smith, and he calls him Shook Smith. And he says that he got nominated for the movie Concussion, that he gave him one. He explains about how the whole issue, I guess, and he doesn't just talk about Will, he talks about Jada. He talks about how the whole situation started with him, Will, and Jada was, I guess, the Oscars before, or I guess Oscars a couple years ago. I can't remember. Will was nominated for the movie Concussion, and Jada made a statement that Chris Rock shouldn't do the show. He should quit because Will Smith wasn't nominated. And so during the show, Chris Rock made a couple jokes about that. And so I guess that started the feud, if you will. And he said she started it, and I just finished it. He called her the B word. Yes, he did. He called her the B word several times. He said, I'm not picking on that B word. She started, I finished it. But yet throughout, there was a point in it where, again, like he said, Will Smith gave him a concussion. He said he was listening to Summertime. Summertime was ringing in his ears. But he made a point to say he was not a victim. He was not going to be on Oprah or some show spilling his guts, talking about he used to love Will Smith and now he can't believe this happened. No. He said he took that shot like Pacquiao. Okay? He took it. And he did. I remember watching it and not really knowing if it actually landed because of the way he bounced back. It almost looked like it was fake. But yeah, he took that. When you see that slow down slap, yeah, he took that. But he went on to say that Will Smith practices selective outrage, which of course is what we saw that night. Basically that he was laughing at the joke when Kris first started out, and then he saw Jada and his whole attitude shifted. He says, I didn't have an entanglement with Miss Jada. Yeah, but you took it out on me. And then he talks about, and he says, I would have never even brought this up. He says, I wouldn't have discussed this. Even once they came out with it, he says, how do you, he started with everyone has gotten cheated on. Everyone has been lied to, cheated on. He says, but how do you have an interview? How do you put yourself in a situation where you're interviewed by the person that you're cheated on by? I think I said that right. Either way, you know what I meant. And he says, basically you were emasculated on TV in front of the world, but you took it out on me. He said, I didn't have any entanglements with that woman. Oh my gosh. You called them both B words. And frankly, I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Come on, y'all. It's been a year. He's taken this long to actually get this off his chest, to have his say. I am not mad at Chris Rock for what he did. I probably would have called them B words, both B words, but a long time ago. I'm not that person who holds something in. No. I mean, I get it. He got paid $20 million for this special. And we'll make more off of it, I'm almost positive, in the future, but I don't know if bro would have been able to get up on that stage and go and accept the award after hitting me. Just saying. But anyway, I think he ended. How did he end it? He ended. He talked about that he went to go see Emancipation just to see Master beat Will Smith. But he ended it basically saying people, because he talks about how people questioned him, why didn't you react? Why didn't you do anything? And he says, because I have a mother and, I have parents who raised me and who expect better of me. And so, of course, I couldn't do it. And basically, he drops the mic on that. But so, yeah, that was it. That was basically. Now, again, I'm not Chris Rock. I'm not funny. I mean, I ain't cheap, but I ain't that daggone funny. But go check it out. It's actually pretty good. Like I said, it's not his best work, but it's actually really, really good. It has some really. I had some moments where I couldn't stop laughing, then I had to rewind to hear what else he was saying, because it was pretty good. So yeah, y'all, that's it. That's all I ain't got to say about that. Go Chris Rock. Will Smith, keep your hands to yourself. Jada, go read it. Go read a book. Go. The Bible is calling you. King James is calling you. Okay? Get your life together and treat that man like he got, like you care about him. so he could stop hurting other people. Hurt people, hurt people. Not funny, but it is. Because it's true. But anyway, babies, Auntie loves you. I'm going to get up out of here. I'm about to head out for my vacation. I'm going to take a couple of days and relax, chill out. I always take days off around my mother's birthday. She's resting in heaven, but I always try to take a day or two off where I can acknowledge her, remember her, and just love on the memory of her with my daughter. And I will try to record something soon. Again, it's springtime, so I'm going to get back out on my patio and get things started back up. There are a couple of things I tried to start, but I really need to do an overhaul of everything. Get rid of those plants that flowered and are no longer doing anything, and just start over. We can just start anew. I actually have some seed potatoes. I have some nice ginger that has rooted pretty good, and I have some not just say I said ginger that's rooted, and I have some garlic that's rooted. Remember the last time I planted the garlic, the squirrel got up and ate all of them. So we're gonna try this again, but I'm gonna keep them covered partially in a clear box so that they can get some sunlight, but nothing can get to them. We're gonna see if that's gonna work. I don't know. We're going to work it out. We're going to figure it out. But anyway, Auntie babies, I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. And I will talk with you soon. Love you. Bye.